What is up, everybody? Welcome in to some SXL, the good old signature Xcel League. Tonight, we're coming in for the Week 4 matchup between WildBoyZ, previously known as Obey, with some absolute stars on it like Andy's Term, Nightboy, Bars. This team has a star-studded roster, but don't let that fool you. On the opposite side of the field, we're going to have Double O VoiD walking in here with the DCAG Zinx combo. Those two know how to light up a scoreboard together, as we've seen them do, time in and time out. Now, we're still waiting on the rest of the rosters to get in here, but we do have YU Trippin' and Big Stingray for VoiD. I mean, that is just a gunner combo right there, you know? We don't have the high power fraggers of Hawknaro joining us tonight, but hey man, it is what it is. Quite the title you got for stream. Bro, I don't even know what the title is for stream. What is it? Yeah, there's nothing weird about that one, bro. It's just the Xcel League. But yeah, two pretty heavily loaded rosters coming at you. Hopefully we expect some good gunfights all around. At least that's what I'm here hoping for and dying for. And sadly though, the only thing I'm going to despise about tonight is that we're starting with Lair. Like, good God, sir, of all things, we're going to be playing Lair. There is another matchup following these one between these two teams, as they will be playing. Oh. Oops. Yeah, there is another face-off coming up between these two teams. It will be for Champions League, not for this league. But, you know, I'm only doing this one because I do have stuff for the night. Now, I mean, SXL, it's pretty great here. I mean, they usually have the top of the top for the champions play, and both these teams coming in here, I believe, looking pretty strong. Let's see how they're actually standing, though. For the D1 standings, WildBoyZ currently top of their division at 2-1. However, VoiD not too far behind them, 1-2. Now, VoiD is down a map for the Ghostface division. That's right, by the way. This season, we're going full evil spirits, with Mike Myers being currently led by CC, who is 3-0. Up behind him is Freddy Krueger. Yeah, excuse me. Well, there is a two-way tie between 907 and Spartans. Oop. My own video just started. Sorry about that. Yeah, tied up between Spartans and 907. That one should be a battle to watch out. When those two teams face off, I got a feeling it's either going to be the fastest run game or it's going to take forever, as these two teams will tank it out and go slug for slug the whole way to the end. Next division down, we got Jason Voorhees. That's right, the killer of Crystal Lake. BH Nebula leading their division. And last up is Ghostface, the Woodsboro Killer. Team WildBoyZ is currently leading that division, but VoiD looking to topple that stance, put themselves one up ahead, and we will see what happens here. Now, we're still waiting on a couple more people to get into lobby, and then we'll be kicking her right off. The Pirate isn't playing that either, he's working. Seems like VoiD is playing not with a sub roster. They have some of their starters. That's the thing about this VoiD team. They never have subs. Every man in that 10-man roster will get playtime all throughout the season. I mean, they constantly swap in and out and in and out. Just how it is, how their team has always been. And that is one thing that is so great about them, is that adaptability. They are honestly, it's weird to say anymore, man. They are a serious contender. At most, like, their entire careers, they've been a serious contender. They just haven't been able to kind of kick it off and go through to the other end of that field. You know, they haven't made that full playoff push yet. They've gotten close a couple times. They've made, you know, some first round plays and some first round exits here and there. They've never pushed deep for playoffs. But we have WildBoyZ here. They didn't win it last season, but they did take the season before home to the WBZ org. And you know they want to do that again. That is something that this team is hunting for. And I know WildBoyZ are definitely pushing their boys in the right direction to get that league. Now, we will continue to refer to them as WildBoyZ, but like I said, they are the old Obey team of Andy's term and crew. I'm sure you'll make it quick enough game. Let's just say whoever wins first round wins it all. And we're either going to have JBA or Baddies coming in here for that last member of the WildBoyZ Obey team. That's the thing. WildBoyZ moved their Obey team to be their main starting team. That is now their quote-unquote main 5. Let me see if I can add Shady so he can share the link. Baddies could be the other sub in. And according to Hizzy, he is a current top tournament player. So, maybe some heavy frags from his spot. Let's flip down here predictions, though. See what the community is talking about. As it looks like WildBoyZ is currently leading with 60% of the vote. They have the community's confidence behind them. Let's just see if they're able to fulfill and uphold that. These dudes need to hurry up and get it rolling. We're running out of pregame content. Trippin'! How you doing? Give me some pregame hype. Come on. Wow, long day at work. Dude, I feel bad for you. I hope you guys take a good night tonight and get some good sleep. That's gonna be you, Trippin'. Have that confidence, man. It's only XMAP over there. Hi, XMAP. How you doing? I seen your mic light up. You know I love you, XMAP. Bro, he does. Yo, XMAP, get in the hand cam. You just want me to do mine? I got my mouse and keyboard in front of me. Yeah, we're ready. The chat has been ready. What? I want to see this game go OT. Alright, now we're jumping in, chat, to Lair, my least favorite map. Let's take a look at it real quick for a brief overview. Coming into this game, let's see, we got Ace and Kaid pulled off the board. I mean, pretty decent bans here so far. Pretty much the top tier of what you're always going to see banned in pretty much every, every competitive environment. No matter the map, one of those two has got to go off of it. Second set of bans rolling through, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Bandit and another Heartbreacher go. And there's the Bandit and Blackbeard pull. I mean, with WildBoyZ starting on their defenses, I can kind of understand that. However, VoiD typically isn't a shield unit. And tonight, it looks like we're going to have Gaudy playing as the Ashe, DCAG on that Ram, Zinx with the Deimos. Again, I'm expecting some fast plays from these guys. And Stingray on the knock. It looks like Trippin is going to be maybe that main hard support for the team tonight, allowing DCAG to flex around as needed. And I mean, Trippin, Stingray, he has been moving over to PC a little bit, hoping to catch some games for him and his team over there. But tonight, he is all about that console life, bringing us hopefully some good plays on the knock, and I want to see some good sneaking around. Over here, we have the R6 and Mask Room. Will be the start of the defense. And, I mean, this is about the only site I know. You see a lot of really good extensions from it. And playing that mirror here just opens up that can of worms tenfold over. They have extensions that they need. They can make plays around the map as needed. And overall, I mean, I hate to be that guy. Obey is the tournament player stack. They should have gun skill in their favor as well here. And as everybody knows, whoever's ever seen Andy's term, who's ever watched XMAP play, Knifeboy, Bars, and apparently Baddies is one of the top tier tournament players too now. These guys are usually some absolute insane frag power coming into here. But, as we all know, chat, I love myself a good underdog story. So, I'm voting for VoiD. Let's see what they're able to pull out here. XMAP, playing as the new Denari, setting up some interesting setup here. There's going to be, I don't know if those deal damage anymore. I thought they were removing that. But, if they still deal damage, that is a great setup. It's going to be hard to counteract, hard to move around. And Baddies will be playing that main point of contact on the top Mesmira. They don't have any roam presence off-site, except, I mean, if you want to count that top Mez extension. And we see Brian in the chat going, oh boy. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Play down below here from VoiD. They got Gaudy already in Armory. Big Stingray sneaking through security. Zinx droning himself around. We got DCAG on drones, tripping on drones. Come on, guys. Get the guns up. Follow them drones in. Let's see what we can make happen here. Stingray still just chilling. They have shotgun holes right above them. I'm surprised Andy is not able to see Stingray from where he's positioned. He seems ready for him, though. He sees the drone. He can actually see his feet there a little bit. And Stingray slips by unnoticed. Bars eating some shots. That is a repel, I believe, from Trippin as he does get the main wall ripped open. And Stingray now, again, still has some great positioning. But Andy's turn will find him from above the hatch. And the first pick of the game goes to WildBoyZ. Zinx now trying to get himself a swing here. And onto Andy. Throwing grenades out. Grenading him out of position. Almost nading himself, though. And now more shotgun play up above. Zinc manages to somehow slip away with his life. And he is still up and running. I see Ducky say, why are you trying to hand cam my goat? Dude, it's a joke. He fakes hand cams all the time. Now, this Obey roster is one you really don't want to fight in contact to contact. You want to find ways around them. You want to find ways to beat them without just running straight at their faces. And the way VoiD is setting up so far, they're opening up a lot of pressure, setting up all around the map, and we're going to see what they can make happen. DCAG, though, prepping to swing that main breach, finds Bars. That is the mirror gone. Tripping, going to be getting open the other wall into sight, and Gaudy is right there in it. Nice XMAP in the face. Goes in, finds the Fenrir kill as well. And he is just on a tear, pulling through that site, down to a 2v4 here for Obey. However, Gaudy is taken down by Andy as he gets a great swing with that SMG. Smoke out to try and cover himself, and Baddy's now going to take up that Fenrir's positioning because he had some good spots there. And a run in for a revive found by Baddies, and Baddies is taken by Trippin. Andy's now left in a 1v2 against DCAG and Trippin. And DCAG making that long rotate around, trying to take some site control. He will find it. Trippin, however, is the one with the fuser. DCAG setting up now. He's got to defend his boy. Now is not the time to be looking backwards. You got to be playing ahead. Running through the breach. That is Andy. He is still up. And he is found by DCAG as VoiD goes up 1-0 against Obey. Something that kind of kicked all that off here was that rush in play by Gaudy. Going in there for a great 2K almost immediately as the wall came open. So far, just overall great plays from this VoiD team, playing very well into each other's hands, and they kind of caught Obey a little bit off guard with some of that aggression, especially from what we've seen off Gaudy in the Ash. Getting in there, going through, and taking map control. Round 2 coming out, we're once again going up to the Master Office or 6 room. And, I mean, are they going to be bringing a very similar setup? So far, the operators look like they will be. And that Mira, she was a great setup. They just did not maintain it. The Fenrir got a little bit overzealous going in for that quick swing, and that resulted in him being a first pick there for Gaudy. Or, well, not the first pick, but a great pick off for him. Sure, he lost his life shortly after to, I believe it was Andy on that swing, but he still managed to get that kill. That is where it mattered. He gave live count to his team, and they made the most of it. Defense, again, still setting up about the same way they've always been. I don't expect much here to change. These guys, I mean, once you get a setup that works, you kind of do stick with it. This is more of a basic setup for what you would see when the Mira is on board. So, overall, I mean, I'm kind of digging it, though. It puts Mira in a useful position. You have Denari set up in useful positions. Mutes all around to try and cover it. And the smoke for those active plays. And Bar's hopefully going to be roaming a little bit with a C4 in pocket on that Valkyrie. But I kind of doubt it. Even though now he is making those plays down. We got Andy chilling down in warehouse with a shotgun. And he will be a menace very, very later on in this round. Zinx, as I was saying earlier, we don't see VoiD on shields very often. Zinx having to just make a liar out of me and pulling that blitz in round 2. Not even like it's a desperation time pull. But a pull for him nonetheless. And Trippin, not able to get the main wall because of those mutes. However, Gaudy is playing as this Twitch. Still has a couple drones, I think, in pocket. Loses one, though, to those mute jammers. Again, the utter annoyance of it. But Trippin gets wall. Great from him. They do have a player, though, chilling over in the hallway. Going to be playing those windows pretty aggressively, I think. That is baddies over there. But with him being droned out now, he's kind of forced to retreat back. You know, they know the window plays there. I don't think VoiD would be dumb enough to just continue to play up there without clearing him out first. And so far, they do seem to be. However, shots coming right about DCAG as he was opening up. And Andy's finding a great pick there on the Stingray. He was up and operational. And here comes Zinc going for baddies first. C4 landing and finding it down onto him. But DCAG is right there to keep his boy alive. Very, very lucky swing for him. And now we have Zinx trying to retreat himself back to safety. And a spray from Bars through the wall, finding him. X-Map there, taken down by Gaudy. Gaudy getting aggressive with that F2, running in. Trippin now holding some long angles. They have that Mira pop, so they do have some depth into sight. Even though it's not the greatest angle, it is still something that's very playable. Especially the way Gaudy is now, using it to hold that top mez control. I think a swing here from Knifeboy could result in a pick for VoiD. I mean, all they need to do now is take live count, because they have main wall. Once they get life count, we're going to see probably DCAG move in on him as he is prepping now for any sort of swing towards Andy's turn. Andy, though, holding that close with that shotgun, he might not be the best one to swing into. Trippin moving up, trying to play a little bit Latham support style, getting in there and getting aggressive. Now holding that top mez angle onto where Knifeboy is, and goes for the wall, but he's taken down by that C4. Still alive, though, which is a key factor to what we might see here. A swing from Knifeboy. Andy finding DCAG, though. Trippin being finished is now Gaudy left in the 1v3. He has that F2 in hand, though, but Andy's turn just a little bit better with the SMG, putting him down. And Obey picks up their first round of the game. Tying us back up now to 1-1. I mean, so much for Trippin saying, hey, guys, the first team to win this, can we just end the night because I want to go to bed? I don't blame that man. He is a very smart man, putting himself in, well, I guess in his life position, so I get him needing to sleep. Bro works a horrifyingly hard job I would never want to touch. So let this man go to bed. Let's put this game away quick. Community, again, they are still voting all in favor of Obey, so I'm rooting for the underdog story. I like the underdogs. Oh, man. Still feeling a little bit under the weather here and there. But, yeah, we ball. Huh. Round 3, we're going to now see a basement hold coming up. And thanks, DCAG, for calling me the GOAT. With this basement hold, again, they still have the Mira on setup. They got Knifeboy playing as that Valkyrie. I'd almost rather see him put these cameras up above and have yourself in your team prep for some C4s. You know, that scares a defense way more than just knowing that they're in sight. In sight gives you good intel, but it does not give you free picks. Up above, setting them up for any sort of soft floor play, that is the key for a good Valkyrie defense. However, I don't think we're going to see that setup coming here. X-Map does have the Belotech shotgun in hand. Andy's turn, going to be our roamer up here on Vigil, and he does have X-Map up there with him. Baddy's also now roaming top Mez with the Mozzie. I got a feeling these guys are going to get aggressive, and they're going to stay aggressive. Now that they take that round, they threw momentum in their favor, and they threw it there quick. Andy, though, with the Bosch GA cog, I mean, it's definitely a gun. It doesn't hit quite as hard as it used to. However, it is still a very, very effective weapon. for hitting those quick shots like he likes to do. Those quick peaks landing usually. And he is playing very aggressive up here in this main lobby. However, Baddies is right there with him. Those two hopefully playing together well. Here's where a game of connection and, team chemistry will matter. Ziggs droning in for his team. DCAG droning in. We're going to see Trippin now going in, just immediately going for some hatches. I mean, if you're able to take control of those soft floors, you might as well. Get the hatches open while you can. Make your team a place to roam through. Zinx, though, will eat a shotgun to the chest, but Andy Storm taken down with a spray to the head. DCAG, again, holding those hatches up above. And, I mean, we're going to see XMAP now running away as he's being droned, but he's still holding very aggressively on those top stairs. And where's Baddies? He's still just upstairs chilling in bunks. I don't know if they know that he's there. I don't think we've seen any drones onto him. And he could get the jump here on one, maybe two players. But God, he knew! Because of those live drones that they've got all over the map. And a team that has been playing them aggressively. Now that camera there is XMAP's one line of safety. And he is now trying to move up. Losing his camera. That's his play gone. Now he just has to play off of sound and sound alone. But with that Belotech shotgun, he does have the advantage here. However, we do see that is Zinx who dropped right in down below him. And as this VoiD team will go to push him out, we're going to see Trippin go down, but Stingray right there for the refrag now. 2v5 for the WildBoyZ team, as VoiD are looking like they did in that form factor of round one. However, Bar's trying to play aggressively up through the hatch to keep them from dropping down. We got Nike now trying to hold that run in here from water boiler or filtration, whatever you want to call it. And Stingray is going in. He will be going for plant. They've got to hold Nike out. Keep him down. And there's Bars taken by Zinx up to a double kill. Stingray will get the plant. Nike not in a great position. Stingray finding a flawless attack here for VoiD. Just going into it. Four said I was big boned? No, Irish, I would never say that. I say you have a very thick skull. VoiD laying down those two rounds that they took. Looking kind of dominant that last one too with a flawless attack. And now we will see the Thermite and the Mira both be pulled off map. That Thermite was something super useful there for Trippin. Something I've seen him leaning on just a little bit. But now that that's pulled off, I'm hoping to see him maybe, I don't know. I mean, he's going to maintain that hard breach roll. It's going to have to be Hibana coming out. Excuse me. I see VJ saying, I guess the starter Irish isn't starting. Nah, man, I think he said he was busy tonight. Irish, you answer for yourself, though, man. I'm not you. Overall, just some great plays so far tonight. These two teams, I mean, these 3 rounds that we've seen, they have just went blow for blow back and forth. And that infinite load time of the new Siege updates has been great. Once again, we will now see these attacker or defenders go down here to the basement for another set of hold. Let's see how VoiD intends to take this one. Now, you gotta give them something. That Obey roam was stopped very early on, as Andy Term did get headshot by Ziggs. If they're able to stop that roam once again as effectively as they did not lose a single body. So if they're able to stop them, we could see some good things here from VoiD again on this round. As Andy's Term loves to roam, and I don't think we see anybody else with him. Maybe Nike Boy, I'm hoping, or at least XMAP to play his stairs. Looks like it might be Barson and Nike Boy up on our own with Andy. Again, I don't hate it. But no, Nike Boy setting the cameras up upstairs. Again, that is a great play for this Valkyrie. You play them off the soft floors, as well as it gives you some advantage, in supporting your roamers. And XMAP watching a drone hole with a pistol is absolutely wild. I mean, if that doesn't shout aggression, I don't know what does. Baddie's looking to take a jump out for himself. Gaudy is right outside of there. But nah, he's not going to do it. Man, I was hoping to see those types of plays. That's what console's all about. The console is all about that aggression. Those high momentum plays. That fast moving mentality. And Stingray going in like an entry frag. Finding the head or the body shots on a Bars to take him down. Not taking any damage himself. Andy now up on the roam up in Master's office. And we might see a more direct style take here from VoiD. X-Map still trying to lock down those blue stairs, not let anybody near. And Nike and Batty still holding some angles. Andy will find DCAG though with a great pick for his team, taking down the Ash, so that is a big utility piece going. However, it's not like he is much of a utilitarian aspect as they don't have that mirror anymore. And Andy now holding. Live drone coming in. Stingray going to be the one to swing him, and Stingray pulling the double kill for himself as he takes him down. Now we're into a 3v4. They do not have that roamer presence except for Xmap, who is now moving himself up into Armory Hallway. But as he's being live droned, I don't know how well that's going to work. I'm expecting another double swing onto him, like we had seen earlier in the night. That is the only way you'll be able to clear him where he's playing out with the shotgun. But you can, cue the Jaws music as Baddies makes his way up, trying to retake some verticality. Dun 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 dun. He's coming. You know he's coming. It's only a matter of time until he finds one. As VoiD now think that they own all of upstairs. They're not really expecting it, except for Gaudy, who has the live pings, finding some shots, not enough to take him down. Reswinging with a shotgun. Baddies is now holding it, and he's ready, and he is close. But hopefully popping the smoke to his advantage, he might be able to get out of there safely. But I do not expect it. Gaudy trying to lay close with his own shotgun, saying, hey man, I got one of those too. And they have Baddies pretty much pinned in. Nightboy was flashed by Zinx, but manages to not be blinded because of the building around him. And gets a great pick there. Nightboy is taken down though as Trippin goes in for the swing. Xmap still playing upstairs, shotgun in hand. Swung on by Gaudy. Now it is just Baddies left in a 1v3, 12 seconds left. Trippin going to be going for that defuser. They're keeping the live pings on him. If he hits a wall bang right now onto Trippin, he could shut this one down for his team. VoiD has their own live pings, so they are flashing out. They know where he's at, but Baddies gets the better swing on the Stingray. 2v1, diffuser's down, so it's a 1v3, because we give father time to the attackers now. And with Gaudy upstairs now, he's the one trying to defend up above. And Trippin just going to be maybe trying to open this wall up and be a little bit of an annoyance. But Baddies is coming for him. Shotgun out and ready, and Trippin's able to find him as VoiD put themselves up 3-1 against Obey. A little bit of a glitched camera angle there. Trippin with some great picks that round. Trying to keep his team competitive and up and in this one. If we see VoiD pull a 4-2 here, I will be thoroughly impressed. But a 5-1 would just be that bittersweetness that everybody loves. Well, unless you're a WildBoyZ fan, and then you're listening there going, yo, what the F, team? Got myself a water. Gots to stay hydrated. The good old Siege loading time. I gotta say, it has to be something with crossplay to PC, from our console to PC. Once again, now we're gonna be seeing Obey come upstairs to the offices. And God, how much have I ever said it, but I hate Lair. However, I'm thinking VoiD absolutely love this map. Without the mirror on board, we're gonna be seeing Nightboy put himself on the Fenrir. And it's really not a bad play for him, because you still give yourselves those quote-unquote one-way angles. The mirror provides them as a hard angle, something that, it's hard to stop you. But the Fenrir, it provides more of a soft, passive version of it. You pass through, you're blind. You're a sitting duck there. Almost the same as what a mirror does. I don't know. I hope you guys can see the comparison I'm trying to make here. Once again, though, we do not see Bars playing that Valkyrie down below. I mean, he's got the C4, man. You've got to be playing some guys off site. You've got to cover down below and C4 up through the floor. These floors are all soft. It is almost like this map was just begging to be controlled from down below. And a very strong Obey hold for that top Mez setup. And we got DCAG instantly going in and taking control of Security Hall. Just walking himself through. And, I mean, straight through the angle that we've been watching Andy Stern play this whole time. He just doesn't have it set up yet. Gaudy, however, is taken down by Baddies. A great first pick for them. Getting rid of someone on this VoiD team who has just been absolutely detrimental to all of their defenses. But Stingray now trying to get with those bees, trying to make some noise. DCAG eats a ton of damage, and he just keeps running. He don't even care. Bars lighting him up in the back, but again, to no avail. VoiD's attack so far seems to have heavily stalled out. As I'm saying that though, Stingray gets in there and gets himself a first pick there on a baddies. However, Bars is there for a refrag. 3v4. These guys have got to find an angle and they've got to take it. DCAG appears to have just decided to get up and walk away though. Staying there AFK. Same with Zinx. Are they using this kind of like attack timeout now? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe DCAG and Zinx are passing their shared brain cell back to one another. Because I swear, you play with these guys, you think they're the same person at times. They share that wavelength. Trippin holding a tight angle there onto Andy. But as he goes for that reload, I don't know if maybe Andy heard that mag just slide out of the chamber and said, now's my time. And goes full Usain Bolt out of there. He doesn't want to be in the situation anymore. But here comes DCAG. Making his way up right to where Bars was just playing at. He knows he's there. And he's able to find Bars from behind. Putting it down to a 3v3 now. As VoiD are trying to keep themselves alive in this round. Cutting it kind of close here. We have 45 seconds left on the clock. Speaking of cutting, we see Zinx getting in there with that Maverick Torch and cutting those walls apart. DCAG rotating up now. They've got to get rid of these Denari traps. And there is one playing close on that wall. Rounds going absolutely everywhere. And that's the shield gone. Zinx taken down from his own holes. Trippin finding on XMAP. Finding on Nightboy. Now we're into a 1v1 here as DCAG is down. Andy's term has got to beat Trippin out. And Trippin, though, looks like he's feeling himself. That M4 going nuts. And there goes an EMP. But Andy's term will take him down. As we now move into a 2-3 split. As Obey hopefully finds some more wind for their sails. And pulls themselves back into this competition. I mean, VoiD, we're looking pretty hot there. Trippin was definitely feeling the energy coming through there with that M4. He just did not land that first headshot onto him. And it just didn't work out in the way he anticipated. Final round of the Obey defense. Let's see if we're going to have a perfect 3-3 split. Which is how often... I mean, that's just how this map is played. Flipping in the scoreboard right now. We have Bars at 1-4, XMAP at 1-5, Nightboy 3-4, Baddies splitting it even at 5-5, and Andy's term being the champion of his team at currently 6-3, and 3 assists to go along with it. On the VoiD side though, Trippin, the fearless leader of VoiD, the man in the chair, the man in charge, currently 5-2, playing an absolute masterclass. Like I tried to tell him, he's gonna put on a masterclass. You gotta play tonight. And it looks like, I mean, he's taken that and he is running with that. He likes that storyline. Big Stingray currently 5-4, doing his job and doing it very well. Quite a few picks that were round changing going in his favor. Same to Gaudy at 5-3. DCAG and Zinx currently sitting bottom of the scoreboard for their team. However, Zinx is 2-4 with 1 assist, and he has been playing it fairly well. And you gotta give the same shout there to DCAG, who's currently 4-3. Again, these dudes are getting in there and doing their jobs, and that is what matters most. Once again, I believe it is a basement hold, but a run out from Baddies results in Stingray going down, and a refrag attempt from Gaudy will be found, thankfully, to even up that live count just a little bit. DCAG already making his way into barrels, though. He is just sneaking through. I don't think these attackers know. They do have Andy's term and Bars playing upstairs. Nightboy and XMAP down in sight. XMAP not looking the hottest right now. So we could see DCAG, you know, with this intel of, hey, I know the ones I'm going up against, and go for an ego swing here. Nightboy, though, trying to get aggressive going in. DCAG finds one onto him and is now taking a minute to stop and pull their cameras. Getting the intel that, hey, site is being rushed. I got a feeling we're going to see Andy's term and Bars make their way back to site as quickly as possible. XMAP, you know, he is chilling in talks and he's got to stay alive up there. Gaudy, though, down with his boys. We got DCAG still chilling lockers. Zinx with the vertical upstairs, up and above. This is how you like to see a team execute. They have that vertical control now in their favor, as all the defenders have given up the area. And Trippin being pushed. But he is still up. Zinx putting some rounds down on Andy, but he is fragged down and out of there. DCAG trying to get in, rush up with his team. Trippin holding those long angles. Gaudy now finally taking control of Missile. This VoiD team has got to make their push forward and make it fast. Zinx is down up there. DCAG will be going to res his man. And almost a pick going in the favor of DCAG. Thankfully, Gaudy is there to help finish that pick for his team. Trippin trying now to get a swing out. There's still a minute and like 10 left on the board. X-Map finding Gaudy, but Zinx there for the re. 1v3 now for Andy's turn. They have the defender cameras, so those BPs have got to go that you have set up in sight. Andy's turn is found now by Trippin. Phone calls coming out. Trippin has got to go in and plant. A good swing there from Andy as he finds Zinx with it. And he is now rotating Missile, giving up sight control. And he's coming right over to where DCAG is standing. Over his shoulder, Trippin will be going for the plant. This is almost a moment where you say, hey guys, just keep 2 guns up. Andy now rotating himself back over to Missile, just trying to keep himself elusive. You don't want to know where he's at. As he goes for a spray on a DCAG, DCAG finds him with a little bit better of an angle, just hidden by those walls for a millisecond. And we see VoiD take a 4-2 split against Obey. I mean, Hizzy said it earlier in the day or the other day that VoiD will be that Achilles heel to Obey, and so far they are playing like it. Abolish says, so do they intentionally try to suck against everybody but CC? I don't know, Abolish. That is one for the statistician nerds that is not myself, because I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. Mira and Thermite being pulled off the map immediately. Obey does not want to deal with that Mira. I got a feeling we're going to see them ban out a zombie too. Because Mira is one of those ones, she plays into that zombie ban as well. If you get rid of both, they cannot really change that map up on you. That is why those two operators are such big impacts with such high ban rates. Because they can completely flip a map on its heels. But no, there goes the Valkyrie. And the Ace. Alright. VoiD hate hard breachers. I'm going to confirm that. Lock that in, chat. These guys are hard breachophobics. Hard breachophobia. Yeah. They hate them. And they still bring a bandit, a mutant. What? You ban the hard breachers. Why do you need all that? Why? You don't need that. You can maybe get away with a Kaid or a bandit. Not all 3 of the primary breach denials. Yo, Trippin, when you're writing these strats up, man, what are you smoking? Are you stealing the good stuff? Has to be. But it is a very breach denial setup. So I got a feeling that, yeah, with this upstairs hold, if they're able to get a single wall open, there are some serious issues that need to be evaluated. Either with the game coding or with the team. Because there is no way a wall should be pulled here. Mute setting up for that top mez set. I hope to see both walls reinforced unless we see a player up here, and it looks like they will both be going. And let's see where the Kaid is playing set up. Because I got a feeling Bandit should go for his bandit tricks here. And if we see the bandit tricks fail, because you know they're going to play beneath with bars, hopefully the Kaid comes in out of pocket. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Baddies is on the Blackbeard, and we got Andy's turn playing as the Twitch. I mean, they don't really have a solidified hard breacher. They do have some hard breach charges. Now, let's keep an eye on bars. I got a feeling with that Ash, he's going to hopefully get active here and pull some good kills in his favor. Moving through, they do have some live pings, and that is Gaudy that they're pinging out. Will we see a wall bang? Very likely, as Bars will find him with it. I mean, I knew it was coming. With that live ping there, it was there. I mean, it was his. Stingray is able to find a great pick there on the baddies. The Blackbeard pulled off the table. That is an absolute blow to this attacking team. Because usually, whenever you see a Blackbeard in play, that is so much of an attack style set up around his ability to pace set. And we've got a C4 playing down below on DCAG. With Bars now having to clear out everybody down here. He wants to take some map control. Looks like DCAG said, hey, you can have first floor. He rotates down, but Knifeboy is waiting for him down there in the labs. And now into a 3v4. The defense at a little bit of a disadvantage. Play coming from down below from that Ash. She is just ripping things open. Trying to find those Kaid claws. And we will see the take coming through. Heartbreach charge in the hands of XMAP. And it will find that storage wall. A hard push on its way. And Stingray walks himself right into the fire of Andy's turn. I think he overswung that a little bit with that shotgun. And Trippin and Zinx now left to clutch it up in a 2v4. They've got to maintain some posterity here. However, Andy's turn running in, finding Zinx. It is now Trippin down to a 1v4. Not a whole lot he can do here besides just win some gunfights and survive, taking some damage out. But Andy's turn getting in there with that F2 and finding him. I mean, that was an aggressive attack there that we are used to seeing Obey play like. I got a bullish in chat just going off. They're playing like babies against VoiD. The second they play us, everyone's sprinting around the map and riding. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll admit, the way that Obey has played so far tonight was a bit different than what we've usually seen them play as. You know, this is a definite pace change from normal. But I don't mind it. I mean, Obey, even if that more slowed down pace, have still not been doing bad. I don't mind them shifting away from the typical tournament pace that these guys usually play at. Like, they're playing more into that classic siege hand that we usually see CC play like. You know, it's not just full, let me gun out, let me go just be an entry fragger. They're playing with some brain, some intelligence, some attempt for some map control. I mean, it's worked so far in their favor. They're almost playing similar to how we usually see VoiD play. Of that maintaining map presence, trying to open up around the map. And, I mean, it's been working. Once again, the upstairs hold is coming. This time, though, they don't have anybody roaming downstairs. But I expect Zinx to maybe change that out here in a little bit. Trippin', what the heck is this turtle set up? So Batty's back on the Blackbeard. Let's hope to see him not get first picked by the smoke shotgun this time. That'd be pretty sick. I like seeing some good Blackbeard plays. However, anymore is just such BM on. I like to see a Blackbeard anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it when he's played well, but so many people just use him as that sprint tool. You know, oh, I'm gonna go take site right now, and that does it. C4 ripped from Gaudy. Stingray eating a lot of damage off that frag grenade from XMAP. Still managing to stay upright. And they now know exactly where Blackbeard is. They got players all around him too, though. And Bar's playing down below. Almost finding Zinx. Had his crosshair literally resting on his head. If this was a CSGO tournament, you'd hear the people just, trying to bait their favorite player into hitting a wallbang headshot like that. We've seen that happen before in Pro League events, guys. That was actually a big controversy for a while. Gaudy going over to make sure that they can't get main wall after their last one was just twitched. But they will still manage to get it ripped open as Blackbeard does not have an add-on for it. XMAP taken down by Big Stingray. We see DCAG take baddies. Now we're into a 3v5 as VoiD has some advantage here. However, main wall is open. WildBoyZ getting in there. Andy has control of top. Mez crosses right in front of their one-way angle they have, though. And Nike will find Trippin', but Gaudy finds Nike. A good trade out, if you ask me. But Andy's turn as he rotates forward. Found by DCAG with the shotgun. And it is now down to Bars, who is all alone by himself downstairs. And Stingray hits him with a shotgun through the floor. I don't know. Was he just trying to make holes? Or no, he just hits him with a random wallbang through the floor. Alrighty then. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Said VoiD playing absolutely stellar right now. Up on rounds, they usually don't play like this, and right now they just are. You know, they're gunning out hardcore. Andy's turn, though, 10-5, keeping his team afloat and alive for this one. We see the VoiD bench looking a lot closer. I mean, excluding Zinx, who's 3-6. But for the most part, their team is kind of riding around each other for picks here. And VoiD now looking to put themselves up into match point on this round. If we can ever load in, it will be a basement setup. They do not have access to a Valkyrie. She is currently off boards. But she is so great for this setup. You know, being able to play that verticality with her. If you can get some good C4s through the floor, that is what you love. And DCAG, currently AFK. He's one we're going to have to keep an eye on. Playing as that Vigil, he tends to slip around the map all the time and go absolutely everywhere. And that is why he is great. If you're able to maintain that upstairs pressure, like what we're assuming he's going to be able to do, things can usually float in your favor for the round count. However, it will all hinge on how well he's able to stay upright and alive. Obey is a hard team to roam against because they do quick clear you. Now, they're able to usually take care of roamer presence within the first minute of a round, if not even faster than that. So hopefully he's able to, while he's solo, keep himself upright. Nobody making entrance yet, which is a little bit odd for how this team usually plays. But Andy's turn, getting the live pings right to where DCAG was, giving them to himself. He has his own comms. He don't even need to worry about you. We got Bars who's entering down below in basement, taking out warehouse control. And Andy up here on the roamer hunt. He's got Nike with him. Flashbangs coming out. DCAG knows there's one there. Finds the kill with Nike. Swings around. He heard the Dokubi playing behind him. And he's just choosing to get himself out of there. But Stingray with a C4 through the floor for his teammate. Giving themselves the character advantage, or the operator advantage, as well as using that verticality in their favor. The 3v5 could be bad here. DCAG's still alive. And, you know, he's sitting there going, hey, Zinx. Hey, Zinx. Use that twin telepathy and just, you know, shoot one of them through the floor to me, man. Bar's trying to now take that missile hull, flashing out and just going for it. The issue is, VoiD has been playing so many shotguns around the map lately. And we see Stingray just getting active with it, trying to find a swing there on the baddies, but he's a little bit too far. But the walk-up from Bars now could result in a pick for Obey here. And baddies will find Stingrays. He gets a little bit overzealous on that swing. 3v4, and DCAG is still just chilling and operational. They have Diffuser downstairs on X map. And Gaudy up there with the Belotech shotgun, trying to find himself a pick. And here comes DCAG now, rotating down, going, hey, Zinx, as soon as you see me, I need a health stem. So please don't swing. I mean, did I call it or did I call it? Bro doesn't even make it down the steps. And we see DCAG up there just begging for a stem. DCAG rotating up. He wants to try and take a fight here. And Baddies knows about it. And they have something to say to one another, but nobody landing the shots. Those Legion Mines being extra annoying. Zinx missing the stem on the trip and thankfully able to find it on his last one though. So now he is nothing more than just a gun floating around the map. There is one Goyo popped. Barst manages to get the down on the DCAG. Right now is where you're probably wishing you still had those stems though, don't you? Gaudy finding Barst. We see Gaudy running over straight into X map. Zinx there with one pick, spraying that P90 down, and finds Baddies to then shoot the body. I mean, he just let the P90 sing right there. Did not lay off the trigger the entire time. We see VoiD go to match point against Obey. It's 6-3. Could they end the night here, and I think give themselves first place in their division? I mean, that is the question now. Will they end the night here? If VoiD somehow chokes away this lead, I mean, there's going to be some very, very sad VoiD fans here, but some very, very happy WildBoyZ players. And the Grim and Legion both now gone. That Legion being an absolute menace on the last round, so I don't hate to see that ban. I mean, I kind of figured that was coming, as, you know, he was just, you know, annoying. Set up absolutely everywhere. Now, let's see what VoiD will maintain and push here. We see DCAG swapping himself over to Pulse to play that Bunks briefing setup. I think first time we're seeing this rotation on the map. I think it would be, yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it would be. If we can ever manage to load in. There we go. Flipping down here, let's see what they do. That Pulse with shotgun should be absolutely deadly, because I believe, if I'm remembering, didn't he gain the pistol? I think he gained the machine pistol. And DCAG making the smart play of, hey, I'm just going to go hide. If they don't know I'm on board, they won't know how to play against me. Slips away, and, I mean, we're going to have to see what kind of power positions he can pull. With him going downstairs to play, I got a feeling with him staying hidden, he's going to go downstairs for this play. That wouldn't, be a bad idea. You keep that piece of utility going for a reason. He's still staying hidden, giving these attackers time to get off drones and let them, make that push towards building. Either that, or he's just going to keep playing medical with that Pulse, which is, again, just another not bad idea for him. Andy's turn, getting in there with the Blackbeard. He's going to go upstairs and try and deal with the roamer presence of Gaudy and Stingray. These two have been playing very spectacular tonight. And we got Gaudy getting a little bit aggressive as he's trying to rotate towards every gunshot he can hear. There is some entry downstairs into the main door, but that is bars found by YU Trippin, and Trippin is still up. Blackbeard now making the play from where he entered at, that green side, that Bunks corridor. Baddies finding Zinks. DCAG, they're able to find Baddies. And here comes Andy running up onto the Pulse. And a little bit of a whiff from the C4, but Trippin is there to shut him down. Coming up and avenging his boy. And now it is Nightboy and XMap in a 2v3 for map point. XMap, though, will find Big Stingray, who was upstairs on that room. Gaudy is nearby, though, to play his refrag. And Trippin has got to survive against Nightboy. This is not one to lose out on. The drone's coming in from Nike. He's going to try and find Trippin, and he will do so. Trippin, though, I mean, he knows where Nike is at. Gaudy making the rotate down to assist his team. And Nightboy is right there with the fuser in hand. So Gaudy making as much noise as he can up above. But I don't think he's going to be able to bait Nike up into him. With the vertical play, though, from the hatch, we should see VoiD may be able to defend this defuse or this plant just a little bit. Nike with full site control. We see XMap now rotating around, trying to find himself a little bit of control. But he's taken down by Trippin. 3K for Trippin on this round. And Nike will now start going for the plant. They hear it, and they're all upstairs on vertical. Nobody's making the play down onto him. Diffuser is planted. Here comes Gaudy, going for a quick spray just to be an annoyance. And a swing from Nike as Gaudy puts him down. And we see VoiD win 7-3 over Obey as Trippin will get the defuse for his team. And Baddies dodges the screenshot at the end of the game. Maybe Andy did too. But VoiD going absolutely insane tonight. Playing like we really have never seen them pull out and play before. What a stellar performance there from everybody on board. DCAG at 10-5, Gaudy at 10-6, and Trippin, the fearless leader, up 8-4. Stingray 9-8, Zinks 5-7. I mean, some great plays there from them. The WildBoyZ players, though, Andy was leading that charge for his team all throughout, and Baddies was somewhat, he was there to help out as well, and it was just amazing. Let's see what they're saying in the match chat real quick. GG's, guys. Good game. I'm going to bed. Alrighty. Let me tab over to here and leave that lobby real quick. As we've seen VoiD close out week 4 of SXL. It used to be the Scissors League, now rebranded as Signature League. They put Obey down. That is a feat that not many teams, ever. In the current competitive environment, there is a very, very, very short list. I don't think I can count them on 5 fingers who have beat that team. And beat them in a 7-3 fashion, or 7-3 fashion. Just an absolute, just applaudable performance to VoiD tonight. To the WildBoyZ players, though, y'all played just decently. I mean, y'all had some rounds where it all came down to just a couple small things or just engagements lost. And I got to give it to you guys. I got a feeling we're going to see you guys in grand finals at the end of this season. That is just the way things have been shaping up and playing, and I highly expect it. But to everybody who came out here, thanks for coming out and visiting. Big shout out to the Xcel group. Y'all have been great, and we'll see.